Hello, it's a brand new week. Monday's here, and today we are looking at what's going on in the UK property market and legislation. I've got a shock for you today. I hope you enjoy this video. So, UK property market pretty static. We're not seeing great movements at the minute. There's not lots of properties coming onto the market which are being discounted down. That will come. I still believe that will come, because remember, although we got the furlough, the stamp duty, all those things really well done by the government, that's softening the blow. But remember, with the self-employed, there's over 3 million people caught up with very little help. So I still believe that we're going to come to this inevitable drop. Remember, taxes will be going up. Boris Johnson's already intimated that does have to be paid back. Unfortunately, it's not just going to be us, it's going to be our children and potentially our children's children. This is almost equivalent to a war of cost that is coming to this country right now. Normally in a war, employment is ramped up, and so actually the money is going out, being spent, and then it comes back in. At the minute, again, yes, the government is putting money out. Is it coming back in the market? With the lockdown, not so much. Yes, you and I are using Amazon and everything else. That company is doing really well. Let's hope that they start to pay the tax that they really should be paying. But what have we got? A real shocker. Look, this is from the Lincolnshire newspaper. We have one newspaper. It's not the best. It's called the Lincolnshire Echo. It comes out once a week and it costs £1.60 to buy. So it's not the best to be advertising in. I don't advertise. There is one property advert in the whole paper, but because it's such a small circulation of newspapers, it's not a great one to use. Tested it before, it just doesn't really give any results. But this one, look at the state of that. This came out the end of last week. Elderly residents left in the cold. Council apologises for leaving people in flats without hot water or heating for 3 years. This shocked me. So look, this isn't an elderly home or anything like this. This is council flats that they're renting out and getting income for, and they have the responsibility to put heating and electricity in there, or the supply of gas and electric in there, and they failed miserably for 3 years. Now look, don't get me wrong and don't misquote, that's not continuous 3 years they've not had it, because no one's going to live there, but there's been issues where people have been left continuously for 3 years. Now the legislation of the Homes Act means that as landlords, we're responsible to make sure that each and every tenant that we have has the right to a decent and safe environment which is fit for human habitation. This is some of the quotations out of that act. If the council aren't doing it, but they have an enforcement officer that come and chase you and me if something like that happens. And remember, if it was electric or gas supply, something like this, and it can take a long time to get those things sorted, but not 3 years, guys. I mean, it's terrible. Weeks, maybe a couple of months. I understand when you're dealing with utility companies, that can drag on, but you need to get something done. And I was shocked, because this is the council, and the council are the enforcing body of when things aren't right. So this is a council, let me see, I think it's not Lincolnshire Council, this is South Kesteven District Council. Lincolnshire Council is very good, and Lincoln City Council, excellent, but this is South Kesteven District Council. So this is further away, or towards Grantham. It will be under the jurisdiction of the District Council there, where Maggie Thatcher was born, in Grantham. But it is shocking that when you have enforcement officers, they're not looking after their own properties. And I was shocked with that. And so, look, be careful, because the councils are out there to enforce, and especially at this time with non-paying tenants again. And if you've got a non-paying tenant, you still have a legal obligation to make sure that you're making all of the things fixed in that property providing it, you know, if it's a heating's broken, you still have to fix it. If there's a problem with electric, you still have to fix it. If there's damage to a window or door, you still have to fix it, regardless of you getting funds in. So look, it's a really important part of being a property investor that you have a legal obligation to keep the properties in good working order. If you don't, you can be fined significantly. All right. Now, having said all of that, what should we be doing in this time? Look, opportunity is everywhere. You should be speaking to people. When you speak to tenants, see if they know that, if you can get hold of the landlords. So if you're viewing properties, etc., and you see tenants who are living at a place which maybe isn't very good, then you should be saying, hey, can you give me your landlord's details, and I'll have a chat with them. Bring them up and say, listen, seen your property, would you be interested either in selling it or a guaranteed rent scheme which I can give you. This is some of the things that I'm doing at the minute. We're pushing forward to look for more properties. We've come up with a technique to get our properties, and very much with the help of my business partner Leslie Tao, to get 100% occupation in properties which aren't really weren't doing very well, in as much as service accommodation, those sort of things. And when you understand these ways of doing it, it's incredibly powerful to get those numbers of days in the month occupied, especially in the quiet times. If you want to know more, I know that Leslie Tao is doing some consultation sessions. If you're interested in that, drop me an email and I'll pass you through to Leslie Tao or contact her herself. If you want any consultation with myself, then drop me an email. Or if you're interested in any of our training, we've got lease options, buying at auction houses, and buy, refurb, refinance. Guys, have a great week. Remember that the limitations that you may be experiencing is just limited in our own imagination, and if we can think big enough, we can do more. All right, guys, have a great week. Take care. God bless you.